Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurumilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadhamadyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajahatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namoste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabha Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriya Sorry Vancha Kalpadarubhyacha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay, so this part of Bhagavad Gita, what we saw in the last class is all about one section where Krishna is giving from a step-by-step approach on the devotion service. If somebody is not able to do this, do this. If you're not able to do this, do this. If you're not able to do this, do this. So in such a way that he's completely or completely in a way where he wants somehow or the other, right? So we say ena kena upayena, like how, whatever by means, in whatever way, if you are able to come to me, I am ready to accept you. So this is what is Krishna's. This chapter is also one way Bhakti devotional service, but most importantly, it is Krishna's assurance or Krishna's mercy, Krishna's Karuna Murti we call, right? So that Karuna Murti is what he's like. If you're not able to do this, at least do this. At least karma phal de do. At least karma ka, just doing the karma activity, at least remember me. If you're not able to do this, do. If you're not able, so in that way, he's making it very, very so easy for all of us. This is one portion of it. But the other portion of it, if somebody starts turning towards Krishna, if somebody starts focusing towards Krishna, how and what are the ways by which we will be able to remember Krishna? So that is the wonderful part. This section we are going to see. Okay. So as far as now what we are concerned, what is the first question? What is the question that asked by Arjuna is, what should I worship or whom should I worship? The impersonal Brahman. Impersonal Brahman here means the unmanifested. Avyakta. Avyakta means not that can be seen or not that can be realized through our external sensual understanding, through external sense organs or whatever be it. Avyakta, it is not kind of directly. So in that way, are we able to do or engage in your direct devotional service? So this is the first question. Okay. And then for that, Krishna goes step by step, and then he gives a wonderful this one. So first he gives the answer. What is the thing? Yes, worshipping me directly with great faith, with the perfect faith is the most perfect. Okay, so that's the direct answer to the first question. But however, then he starts going to the other. But those who do not directly worship also will achieve the same goal, but they are doing an indirect process, and it will take multiple millions and millions. So, which means what? Krishna is ready for accepting everybody and anybody, even if they go through a lot of different kind of path, but it will take more time. Okay, that is what. So for somebody who's following the impersonal feature, what Krishna is saying, the advancement is very, very difficult, because to advance, you need to have a relationship, to have personal relationship, and then only through Archa Vigraha form or in Bhagavan realization form, you will be able to quickly go through. The other advancement is very tough is because there are more chances of falling down. There are more chances of getting diverted. So that is why Prabhupada emphasizes on deity worship is all your senses are channelized. All your mind activities are channelized, or your intelligence is channelized. So all those things will channelize only if you have a direct impersonal worship of the Supreme Lord. Okay, because otherwise it will directly get into various other areas. So it is very difficult for other forms. So that is why even in the purport, Prabhupada emphasizes on the importance of deity worship. Okay. Then he talks about the other parts of fix your mind. Okay, if you're not able to fix your mind, then this is a very important sloka, but throughout Bhagavad Gita, we have seen the previous chapters, fixing the mind is not that easy, right? Even in sixth chapter, in all the chapters is emphasizing that point. You cannot be able to easily fix the mind until you do abhyasa and vairagya, right? Then only you'll be able to fix your mind. But if you're not able to fix your mind, then what is the way? At least engage all your intelligence, at least do your intelligence part. Then, even if you're not able to do that, then at least mind and intelligence is not working. At least if you're not able to do follow the regulative principles. Be a perfect gentleman. Be a perfect person. Don't get into all kind of akarma activities. Sorry, vikarma activities. At least then you will be able to do. Then, if you're not able to do that also, at least try to work from it. Try to give the results for now. And if that is also not there, then it goes into the next by test. Okay, so this is what we have seen from first section of the first. Finally, what has happened? It is just nothing but attaining that shanti, attaining that particular goal. So from next step, that what we have to see is who's dear to me. This is what most important to me, right? So Prabhupada always says, what is our goal is to become dear to Krishna. That's all. Rest all the other activities we will be. So if you become dear to some person, what will happen? They will take care of you. Even if you do any mistake, even if you fall down, even if you do something, then Krishna will take care. So all our goal is to become dear to Krishna. How to become dear to Krishna is to develop these wonderful qualities, to perform certain seva. So seva as a bhakti seva. Then you can become dear to me. So this section from this sloka onwards, it is all about Krishna defining the part who will be dear to me. Krishna is there for everybody and for anybody, even for Nastikas, even for the so-called atheists. Krishna is there as what? Krishna is there for us what? For all others?
Death.
Death. As Kala Purusha. He will be there as death, as fear also, and also as Anumanta. He is continuing to be sanctioning them because of the desire. The desire to forget Krishna is also given by Krishna. Right? So that is that way he is an Anumanta also. Then he is also the death personified. But for others, Krishna is very, very dear. So Krishna is very clear in that aspect. Okay. So all that we have to see is how to become dear to Krishna. So who and all can be dear to Krishna is what is we have to see. Okay. Okay, let's go to the sloka. Then we will come to this portion. Clear? This chapter you should be thorough, because if anybody is asking you what is in 12th chapter, you should be quickly able to tell in 3-4 points. This chapter is the smallest chapter, but very important cream or crux is very importantly attached. And then talking specifically about how one can do devotional service or how can perform devotional service and attain Krishna. That is a goal. Second part of is whomsoever is attained, whomsoever is dear to Krishna, the qualities and the wonderful abilities are also described by Krishna. That's all. 13-14. Adveshte sarvabhutanam maitra karuna eva cha nirmamohirahankarah samadukka sukaksham. Okay. Yeah, you can read the translation, please.
One who is not envious but is a kind friend to all living entities, who does not think himself a proprietor and is free from false ego, who is equal in both happiness and distress, who is tolerant, always satisfied, self-controlled, and engaged in devotional service with determination, his mind and intelligence fixed on me, such a devotee of mine is very dear to me.
It's somebody else can read the purport.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Coming again to the point of pure devotional service, the Lord is describing the transcendental qualifications of a pure devotee in these two verses. A pure devotee is never disturbed in any circumstances, nor is he envious of anyone, nor does a devotee become his enemy's enemy. He thinks, this person is acting as my enemy due to my own past misdeeds. So it is better to suffer than to protest. It is stated that in Srimad Bhagavatam 10:48 that
Tattenukam partam, tattenukam susikshamano. Tattenukam susikshamano.
Susikshamaну bhunjanam evatma kritam vipakam. Whenever a devotee is in distress or has fallen into difficulty, he thinks that it is the Lord's mercy upon him. He thinks, thanks to my past misdeeds, I should suffer far, far greater than I am suffering now. So it is by the mercy of the Supreme Lord that I am not getting all the punishment I am due. I'm just getting a little by the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, he is always calm, quiet, and patient despite many distressful conditions. A devotee is also always kind to everyone, even to his enemy. Nirmama means that a devotee does not attach much importance to the pains and trouble pertaining to the body because he knows perfectly well that he is not the material body. He does not identify with the body. Therefore, he is freed from the conception of false ego and is equipoised in happiness and distress. He is more tolerant and he is satisfied with he is sorry no. He is more tolerant and he is satisfied with whatever comes by the grace of Supreme Lord. He does not endure much to achieve something with great difficulty. Therefore, he is always joyful. He is a completely perfect mystic because he is fixed in the instruction received from the spiritual master. And because his senses are controlled, he is determined. He is not swayed by false arguments because no one can lead him from the fixed determination of devotional service. He is fully conscious that Krishna is the eternal Lord, so no one can disturb him. All these qualifications enable him to fix his mind and intelligence entirely on the Supreme Lord. Such a standard of devotional service is undoubtedly very rare, but a devotee becomes situated in that stage by following the regulative principles of devotional service. Furthermore, the Lord says that such a devotee is very dear to him, for the Lord is always pleased with all his activities in full Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Maharaj. So purport is very clear. I mean, we don't even have to think too much about what is it. But the sloka Prabhupada quoting from 10th chapter, 10th canto, 14th chapter is also very nice. Tatyenu kam su samikshamano bunjana evam krita eva. Very whenever we have difficulty, right? So in Krishna Lila, whenever you see, think about all the gopas, gopis, everybody, the first thing if they have the difficulty, the first thing when they have some issue, like when suddenly Indra started putting so much of flood situations, first thing they did is just ran back to Krishna. Krishna, please, pahi pahi mahabahu. Everybody, like throughout 10th canto, you see various areas. For example, even when Agasura was having when kind of opening his big mouth and waiting, his Gopas went so confident that Krishna will protect him. Okay. Same applies to Kunti Maharani. Same applies to Uttara. So same applies to Draupadi. But the way they demonstrated that faith is very important. And at the critical time, when there is a situation, first thing is to remember Krishna, right? So first thing. Second thing is when we have a difficulty, when we have this point is very important. When we have a difficulty, we have to think it is because of my activity, my past karma, and whatever difficult I'm coming is very less. I'm actually supposed to get very big activity, but because of Krishna's mercy, I'm getting only little. Okay. See, this line is very important. Thanks to my past misdeeds, I should suffer far, far greater than I'm suffering now. Okay, it is very easy to say, but how Prabhupada envisioned this kind of way is like, we cannot even think about it, right? So we know how everybody have undergone various kinds of difficulties. We know how Prabhupada undergone various kinds of difficulties. We know everybody in the Vaishnava community they have undergone, including in Russia, including other countries, including during Rupa Goswami time, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami time. So many times we have seen Vaishnavas undergoing various kinds of difficulties. It is not new, right from right from Mahaprabhu time or before that also they have undergone, right? But still, one thing that they still hold on is the faith towards Krishna. That's what you can see very clearly, distinctly brought out by Prabhupada. Thanks to my... So next time we get a difficulty, what is the first thing is we have to thank Krishna. What is that thankness? It is not that, okay, you have given me, I will be able to remember. We are not Kunti Maharani, we are not big devotees. But what we have to thank is whatever difficult I'm going is very less only, because otherwise I would have got more bigger difficulties. In that way, then we will be able to appreciate, we'll be able to understand Krishna's this one. Okay. So nirmamo, nirahankara, all those lines, everything you will be able to understand. Nirmamo, nirahankara, samadukka, sukakshami, santushta, satatam yogi, yatatma, druda nischaya. All these Sanskrit you will be easily at. Mayi arpita mano buddhi. Okay. Their mano and buddhi is always mayi arpita, fixed upon Krishna. And what they do? Yo mad bhakta chame preha. So that devotee is very devoted to me. Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
Prabhuji, how far we can think of like uh, whatever we are facing is due to a past karma, and up till what amount should we think like this is all a past karmas and which is not a past
Anything,
karmas?
whatever be it, it's okay. I mean, we don't have to contemplate too much about the karma part in this one. You just have to be tolerant, patient, and then thank God that you're able to still continue with whatever you're doing, and then continue. Because the more and more contemplation on the other side, contemplation towards the Bhagavan, contemplation towards how do I solve, how do I continue my sadhana should be there. Not about, oh, ye prarabdha karma sa, ye sanchita karma sa, this how, all those things will actually get into the source of it. We don't need to get into the source of it. Whatever happened is because of my karma, and then proceed with only the next part of it, because it will continue, right? Sometimes we don't know what is our total balance, bank balance karma. So it might come, it might go. Certain times it will. That is the laws of nature, laws of karma, right? So we don't know when it will come, but we have to be prepared for that. That's all.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji.
Prabhu, can I add something?
Okay, please.
Prabhu, for devotees, as much as we suffer, I think there will always be a solution at the end. Like there's rainy days and sunshine, so we must always hope for that, and it will definitely come. That's really my observation. I don't know how you feel, Prabhu.
No, absolutely right, Prabhu. Absolutely right. That is what the devotees will also, right? They know that somehow or other Krishna will protect them, and then definitely the sunny days will definitely come. Yeah, correct. Okay. Can you go to the next sloka? Any doubt? Okay, let's go to the next sloka.
15.
Yeah, please read the sloka and purport, because I don't want you all to miss the purport. Okay, because the purports are very, very beautiful purports. Okay, yasman no vijite loko, lokon no vijite chaha. Marsha bhayodvege mukto ya chame priya. Okay, please.
He for whom no one is put into difficulty and who is not disturbed by anyone, who is equipoised in happiness and distress, fear and anxiety, is very dear to me. A few of a devotee's qualifications are further being described. No one is put into difficulty, anxiety, fearfulness, or dissatisfaction by such a devotee. Since a devotee is kind to everyone, he does not act in such a way to put others into anxiety. At the same time, if others try to put a devotee into anxiety, he is not disturbed. It is by the grace of the Lord that he is so practiced that he is not disturbed by any outward disturbance. Actually, because a devotee is always engrossed in Krishna consciousness and engaged in devotional service, such material circumstances cannot move him. Generally, a materialistic person becomes very happy when there is something for his sense gratification and his body. But when he sees that others have something for their sense gratification and he hasn't, he is sorry and envious. When he is expecting some retaliation from an enemy, he is in a state of fear, and when he cannot successfully execute something, he becomes dejected. A devotee who is always transcendental to all these disturbances is very dear to Krishna.
Okay. So a few of devotees qualifications. Okay, this is again very nice qualifications. What is this qualification? Yasmad no vijite loka no. So he by whom no one is put into difficulty, on one, and who is not disturbed by anyone. So for him, either the distress or the happiness, fear, anxiety, it's all the same. Okay, so that is where we need to see how we are able to what do you say, understand the qualities of devotees. Okay, let's go to the next look.
Now, Prabhuji, these qualities are for devotees who have already developed. Devotees should already develop these qualities, or these are something that we should aspire for?
For some, by default, it will be already there. For some, it requires some specific actions to be taken. And for some, by association and things, it will automatically come. So it depends on individuals. Okay. For example, somebody born in a very nice, pious family with good samskar, everything. Some of the qualities will be always already embedded. Okay. But others, it might not be embedded. So they need to do some specific prayatna, then they will get it. But it is not that it will be already there. It has to go, first point. Second is, once you have that qualities, important is how to retain those qualities. That is the most biggest challenge. So for a devotee, yes, that is one of the major important things that that determines he is still a senior devotee or a practicing sadhaka devotee or a senior devotee.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji.
But what Krishna says, not to worry. Krishna says, even if there is a fall down or if sometimes it happens, it's okay. But at least realize and come back is what Krishna is expecting.
Because we keep using the word devotee, right? And devotee is a very large word, right?
Yes. Even the other day when somebody was asking this question to Chaitanya Charan Prabhu, he's saying, yeah, everybody is a devotee, but you need to see the limit from this side to this side, then we will be able to see. And some of the devotees' actions we will never be able to understand. So they will be very harsh. They'll be outwardly like this Pundarik Vidyanidhi. Everything will be so much this one, but we will never be able to this one. But still, we need to just go as it is with their understanding.
Okay, thank you. So that person, what was his name? The example that we gave, who was very fallen down, and he would chanted Narayan in the end of life.
Ajamil.
Ajamil. So Ajamil is also devotee of the Lord.
Of course, definitely is a devotee. Otherwise, knowingly or unknowingly, he chanted Krishna Narayana name, and then he became a devotee. Right? So otherwise, in the previous part of his life, he was a very good Brahmana. He was doing all pious activities. He was doing this one, nice rituals, whatever is required to perform his regular sadhana. Of course, he had a fallen down, but by Krishna's mercy and then Nama, Prabhupada will say it is Nama Prabhu's mercy. Okay. Nama Prabhu is the person who sits in our tongue when we daily chant. So his mercy only, he, somehow or other, he was able to recollect knowingly or unknowingly Narayana, even though it was his son, then it helped him.
Got it. Okay.
See, then in Tamil Nadu, we had one chief minister, very old, he was in 90s. He did all kind of bad things. Okay. The worst things, whatever you can imagine in terms of looting, whatever be it. But at the 90 years, something like that, he was supporting one very nice Vaishnava serial called Ramanujan. Okay, our devotees were only directing it. Our devotees only were doing all kind of activities for that serial. And then it happened, Maharaj also went and met him. And then he was doing some Vaishnava Seva indirectly. Okay, at the ripe age of 90. Somebody asked him, what is this? That is what Krishna is, this one. Okay, we will never be able to know. Till 85 years, whatever looting, whatever he has done, he is done. Okay, right from his younger age to 60 years, around 60 years, he had done whatever required for his parivar. But at least at the last moment, he did something. So we don't know what Krishna will give to him.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. Yona Hrishyati na dveshti na soshati na kankshati subha subha parityagi bhaktimanya cha me priyaha. Please.
We have to do 16, before this.
You know. 16. Why? How did I skip? Okay. Anapeksha Sudaksha Udasino Vedavataha Sarvarama Pritagi Human Bhakti. Yeah, please.
Shall I read, Prabhu?
This is my problem.
My devotee who is not dependent on the ordinary course of activities, who is pure, expert, without cares, free from all pains, and not striving for some results, is very dear to me. Money may be offered to a devotee, but he should not struggle to acquire it. If automatically, by the grace of Supreme, money comes to him, he is not agitated. Naturally, a devotee takes a bath at least twice in a day and rises early in the morning for devotional service. Thus, he is naturally clean both inwardly and outwardly. A devotee is always expert because he fully knows the essence of all activities of life and he is convinced of the authority of scriptures. A devotee never takes the part of a particular party. Therefore, he is carefree. He is never pain because he is free from all designation. He knows that his body is a designation. So if there are some bodily pains, he is free. The pure devotee does not endeavor for anything which is against the principle of devotional service. For example, constructing a big building requires great energy, and a devotee does not take to such business if it does not benefit him by advancing his devotional service. He may construct a temple for the Lord, and for that he may take all kinds of anxiety, but he does not construct a big house for his personal relations. Haribol. Prabhu, for this one, can it's like he can the devotee can have such opulences and can use the same opulences in the service of Krishna also, right, Prabhu?
Yes, that is also possible. Like Ambarish Prabhu, like any of them are there. No? It is also possible. So if you have it and then you're not attached to it, and then it is okay. Then you are able to say, do for a service of Krishna, then that is absolutely okay. That's what Prabhupada is saying. If you consider a big building, energy, devotee does not take such businesses, which means the prayatna portion is what is more important. So I don't want to invest more on that particular energy on that particular thing. So he will focus more on how to do simple activities, but take up more time for devotional service. That's all. He doesn't want us to be like a karmis, like working 16 hours a day or 18 hours a day, 20 hours a day, like that. Okay. So this point also very clear. He may construct a temple for the Lord, but he does not construct a very big palatial house for his personal relations. So that is what he's saying. No, for he may take all kinds of anxieties. He may take all kinds of endeavors to worship for the. I mean, construct a temple for the Lord. Okay. If he has money, yes, of course he can. This line is very important. He is clean, naturally clean. Okay, it is not natural. So what happens? The naturally cleaning will automatically happen when we do chanting. So the adjective, the use of adjective, Prabhupada, nobody can believe. He can simply say clean both inwardly and outwardly, right? So naturally, okay. So we'll say by sadhana, we can become clean. But Prabhupada is giving it very nicely. Naturally, it will come. How Krishna says, the taste of water is me. So you cannot beat the taste of water. Whatever be it in the worst, in the thirsty situation, whatever juice or whatever, but plain, simple, nice water is the best, right? Naturally. So whatever we say now, everything natural, right? So that is what Prabhupada means. And this is also right. Naturally, a devotee takes bath at least twice a day. So it is all by default. Right? Okay, good. So it doesn't require a specific endeavor. It should come automatically. Yeah, this sloka.
pure devotee is neither happy nor distressed over material gain and loss, nor is he very much anxious to get a son or a disciple, nor is he distressed by not getting them. If he loses anything which is very dear to him, he does not lament. Similarly, if he does not get what he desires, he is not distressed. He is transcendental in the face of all kinds of auspicious, inauspicious, and sinful activities. He is prepared to accept all kinds of risk for the satisfaction of the Supreme Lord. Nothing is an impediment in the discharge of his devotional service. Such a devotee is very dear to Krishna.
Then this last line is also nice. Nothing is an impediment in this other. So we have seen, you would have read salted bread, you might have read now for the Bangladesh devotees, so many things, right? But for them, it is all accepting as part of their activity and then keep continuing. Okay. He's prepared to accept all kind of risk for satisfaction of Krishna. Okay. Okay, last two slokas. Nice sloka. Sama shatruja mitrecha tata mana apamana yuho sidoshna sukadeshu samasanga vivarjitaha. Tulya ninda sutirmauni santushtena kenachit aniketa chestit sthira matir. Okay, nice word. Bhaktiman me priyo nara. Yeah, please.
Can I read, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
One who is equal to friends and enemies, who is equipoised in honor and dishonor, heat and cold, happiness and distress, fame and infamy, who is always free from contaminating association, always silent, satisfied with anything, who doesn't care for any residence, who is fixed in knowledge, and who is engaged in devotional service, such a person is very dear to me. A devotee is always free from all bad association. Sometimes one is praised and sometimes one is defamed. And that is the nature of human society. But a devotee is always transcendental to artificial fame and infamy, distress or happiness. He is very patient. He does not speak of anything but the topics of Krishna. And therefore is called silent. Silent does not mean that one should not speak. Silent means that one should not speak nonsense. One should speak only of essentials. And the most essential speech for the devotee is to speak for the sake of the Supreme Lord. The devotee is happy in all conditions. Sometimes he may get very palatable foodstuff, sometimes not, but he is satisfied. Nor does he care for any residential facility. He may sometimes live underneath a tree, and he may sometimes live in a very palatial building. He is attracted to neither. He is called fixed because he is fixed in the determination and knowledge. We may find some repetition in description of the qualities of the devotee, but it's just to emphasize the fact that the devotee must acquire all these qualifications. Without good qualification, one cannot be a pure devotee. Harav abhaksya koto mahat gunaha. One who is not a devotee has no good qualification. One who wants to be recognized as a devotee should develop the good qualification. But of course, he does not extraneously endeavor to acquire this qualification, but engagement in Krishna consciousness and devotional service automatically helps him develop them. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. So to answer Sudhir Prabhu's question, again, Prabhupada, this somehow he will reveal our mind. Okay, he will know what we are trying to ask and he will try to answer. So he does not have to do extraneously endeavor to acquire the realization. What will happen? If you start engaging yourself in Krishna conscious activity in devotional service, automatically it develops. Okay, Prabhu? This fixing in the mind and fixing in determination and knowledge is very important. That's what Prabhupada is also saying. This Harsha, Marsha, Biodagal is okay. That and all we can understand. He's equal to friends and enemies, equipoise, is Sukha Dukkam, all those things are all okay. But fixed in knowledge and determination. Okay, this is very important. And Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur mentions this very specifically. The palatable foods, if This is very high level, okay? If Bhagavad Gita is for everybody and anybody, but when it goes to nectar of devotion, and Rupa Goswami will take the stick and then start beating. No, he'll say, "Hey, Bhagavad Gita is only for this one, for pure devotees, devotion service. You are not supposed to like that." He will start giving specific, very specific in that specific instruction. He will say, if you eat lot and lot of more palatable food, forget it. Watch your veham. That if you are not able to control jigva vegam, if you are not able to control your tongue, forget about devotion service. Forget about your qualities. Whatever be it, you will be gone. Okay, so he mentioned that's in dictator because there it is talking about devotional service directly to the Lord and nothing like that. So in that Jiva Goswami, Rupa Goswami mentioned it. Jiva Vegam is like where if you're a brahmachari or if you want to seriously work upon a devotional service, stop eating all palatable foods. That's what he will say. Okay. The last sloka, we'll finish it. This sloka is very important because the word Ati Tive Me Priya, okay, very, very dear to me. All the previous sections are all okay. But why Krishna is like kind of little cherry on the top kind of thing? He mentions, oh, this word is very, very dear to me. Okay. Okay, let's read. Yedu dharma amritam yidam, yedoktam paribhasede, shraddha dhana mat parama, bhaktastve atitve, bhaktaste atitva. Atitva means atitva me priya. Yeah, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I will read.
Yes, Mataji.
Those who follow this imperishable path of devotional service and who completely engage themselves with the faith, making me the supreme goal, are very, very dear to me. Purport. In this chapter, from verse 2 through the end, from Mai Avesha Mano Emam, fixing the mind on me, through ye tu dharma Mritam Idam. This religion of eternal engagement, the Supreme Lord has explained the process of transcendental service for approaching Him. Such a process are very dear to the Lord, and He accepts a person engaged in them. The question of who is better, one who is engaged in the path of impersonal Brahman, or one who is engaged in the personal service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, was raised by Arjuna, and the Lord replied to him so explicitly that there is no doubt that devotional service to the personality of Godhead is the best of all processes of spiritual realization. In the other words, in this chapter, it is decided that through good association, one develops attachment for pure devotional service and thereby accepts a bona fide spiritual master and from him begins to hear and chant and observe the regulative principles of the devotional service with faith, attachment, and devotion, and thus become engaged in the transcendental service of the Lord. This path is recommended in this chapter, therefore, there is no doubt that devotional service is the only absolute path for self realization, for the attainment of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The impersonal conception of the Supreme Absolutely Truth, as described in this chapter, is recommended only up to the time one surrendered himself for self realization. In other words, as long as one does not have the chance to associate with the pure devotee, the impersonal conception may be beneficial. In the impersonal conception of the Absolute Truth, one works without fruitive results, meditates and cultivates knowledge to understand spirit and matter. This is necessary as long as one is not in the association of pure devotee. Fortunately, if one develops directly a desire to engage in a Krishna consciousness in a pure devotional service, he does not need to undergo step by step improvements in the spiritual realization. Devotional service, as described in the middle sixth chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, is more congenial. One need not bother about material to keep body and the soul together. because by the grace of Lord everything is carried out automatically. Thus end the Bhakti Vedanta purports to the 12th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita in the matter of devotional service. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Okay, so this ends the 12th chapter. So what is the conclusion here? This portion is very important. Fortunately, if one develops directly a desire to engage in Krishna conscious and pro-devotional, he does not need to undergo step-by improvements in spiritual realization. Devotional service, as described in the middle 6 chapter, is more congenial. What is the word? What is the understanding of congenial?
Easier or easy to
Suitable.
Okay. Generally, what is the understanding in normal way of understanding congenial means what? What is
Favorable.
find it out? Okay. What is the word congenial means? Yeah, favorable is okay, correct. All are correct, but
Like Prabhuji, pleasing or liked on account of having qualities or interest that are similar to one's own. His need for some congenial company.
correct. So that which gets easily attracted or easily, like that can be done if you start what do you say, coming together very quickly. Okay, that is the understanding. For example, this word is derived from for example, they use for congenial or congenial diseases, right? If you associate with somebody with malaria or with some type or whatever this some diseases, you will be easily, for example, corona, right? You go, you get it immediately. So that is what Prabhupada is using it here, which means you start associating, you start following whatever there in Bhagavad Gita with all this, automatically you will also get it. You don't have to do major activity, major this separate endeavor effort, but you start just getting association or getting attractor or getting associated with all the easy, favorable, everything nice, then automatically you will get. Okay, so you need not bother about all the other things like how do I ensure this, then everything will be automatically fully taken care. Okay, so this is where this is one kind of a very important stage in the Bhagavad Gita. From here onwards, 13th, everything is more of again Gyan portion, where he is already told about Bhagavad Gita's conclusion. What is Bhagavad Gita conclusion? Is to Sarva Dharman Parityaja, which means you have to surrender to Krishna, which means you have to Mahi Arpita Manobodhi. You just put everything into Krishna and then you start working for Krishna. That is the conclusion in the 12th chapter. 13 onwards is about again more understanding about that Paramatma, more understanding about Prakriti, more understanding about all other aspects. And again, 18th chapter is a summary of all the whatever he told. If you go through 18th chapter, he will talk everything again one more time and finally conclude that he is a Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Partho Dhanuntraha. So he'll finish with that particular section. Okay. So what is the main important point for attainment of the Supreme Person of Godhead? The only thing is for that Bhagavan realization, which is the only way is through devotion service. Okay. So this word is very important. The impersonal conception of the supreme truth they described in this chapter is accompanied only up to the time one surrenders himself self-realization. So at least for that self-realization portion, he will get that. This gives a very good example of Dhruva Maharaj, right? Dhruva had a lot of highest level of material requirement. So he went for that. But he was constantly worshipping God. But what happened? The moment he got the self-realization is done, and then moment he started getting into a full-fledged devotional service, unknowingly also, because he was focusing on that aspect. But the moment he had darshan of the Supreme Lord, everything gone away, right? Everything become glass pieces, and then he had the full surrender to the Lord, and then he prayed to the Lord that he did a big mistake of asking these things. Okay, so that is where we can understand. As long as one does not have the chance to this one, pure devotee may be beneficial. But once we get a chance to become association with devotees, pure devotees, then immediately what is recommended is to take up Krishna consciousness directly. Until so that is why Prabhupada also making it's okay for all others to worship Krishna in their own way. If they say Krishna is in this, is there, then that's okay. But moment we get into an association, moment where the path is very clear, where our understanding is also aligned towards Krishna conscious way, then we should get into it. Okay. So this ends the main portion of it. Okay. Who is dear to me? What are all the qualities required? One who is equal, one who is equipoised, who is free from contamination, all those things also. This photo also very nice. So there are a lot of other wonderful devotees also, like Sudama. He's not only not envious, but he was so nice. Like, the moment he came to meet Krishna, he forgot the reason for his coming also. And he also forgot when he went away. Like Krishna treated him so nicely, and Krishna wantedly asked him, "Hey, you came for something, no? What is that for him?" No, 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 no. Hey, you tell me, no. So he will keep on provoking Sudama. But Sudama was so engrossed in Krishna's bhakti that he will forget for what purpose he came also. The moment he goes away also, no, he will go away thinking about Krishna only, but Krishna will become very anxiety. Okay. See, I am not able to be like Sudama. Okay. Because Arjuna, Krishna itself will say, I will never be even if I give the entire my material opulences to Sudama, I will never be able to fulfill that. That's what Krishna will. So Rukmani will ask, what is that? Why are you getting so much excited and so much of anxiety? He will say, the way he is going, he is thinking of me only. He is not able to even ask for what he came. But I am here sitting and giving him everything. Okay. So that is where when we think about all these wonderful devotees, we get that relishment. Okay. Machitta madhya prana bodhayanta parasman kada yantacha mam nityam tushyanticha ramanticha. The more tushyanticha will automatically come. See, by nature, when we start doing all our activities, the tushyanti portion will come. But the ramanti portion will come only if we get into that nice devotional, pure devotional service, and it is very individual. So the individual Jivatma should relish and then have that. Okay. Yeah, this example we all know. Okay. Prahlad example. Whatever difficulty, whatever anxiety, it is highly impossible for even think about all these things. Okay. This is here in Prahlad example. And this example is, who is this? Billu Mangal Thakur. Okay. Or they'll say Sutaka, Ram, whatever, whomsoever it is. But more importantly, even if your eyes are not there, you will be able to see Krishna. This Billu Mangal Thakur lost his material vision, but still he was able to see Krishna. Right. So that is very
So, Prabhuji, what does it mean, a devotee who is not dependent on ordinary course of activities?
Yeah. Ordinary course of activities is what regularly everybody are expected to do. He goes beyond that. So as a sadhaka, as a regular activities, he is supposed to do this, he's supposed to do that. He's bound by the laws, he's bound by the samskaras, he's bound by the location where he is. These are all considered as ordinary course of activities.
Okay, thank you.
This again we know who's the best, dearest Vaishnavana Meta Sambho. He is prepared to take all kind of risk, right? Lord Shiva is also brought out here as wonderful example. Yes, he had done a biggest thing that nobody can even ever think about it, right? So that is again the way we can see Lord Shiva. Yeah, this also Prabhupada says, one who is very dear to me, who is very dear to Prabhupada, one who takes up this message of Bhagavad Gita to everyone is also very, very dear to Prabhupada. Adds this during one of the lectures. So this message of Bhagavad Gita should go to everybody. Okay. then Prabhupada gives that assurance that they are very, very dear to Supreme Lord. Okay, so it is our duty, not for not for what do you say, not for satisfying Krishna, or not for towards Krishna. At least for Prabhupada we have to do. That's all, right? Okay, Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Prabhuji, between Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, which one is more important for a neophyte devotee, meaning somebody?
Bhagavad Gita.
Okay.
Bhagavatam only thing is they may not be able to really understand and appreciate, and they might get into some other way of understanding. That is the only. Bhagavad Gita they can relate to, because it is more from practically from their normal karma activities, jnana activities, dana activities, all those things. So for a newer thing. But once they get into complete understanding, then Bhagavatam definitely it will be.
Okay. Got it. Thank you. And what is the best time to read Bhagavad Gita? Morning, evening, afternoon?
Anytime. This is what we will say. Anytime. I used to read midnight also. Everybody has their own time, so it doesn't matter.
Okay. Thank you.
So trust in Lord, even if you don't understand it. We'll never understand His plan. Okay, if we are able to understand His plan, then we will never be sitting here. So what is faith? In simple definition, if somebody asks, how do I understand faith? Faith is like you just trust blindly, even if you don't understand anything on it.
All right. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. So all the 20 slokas are important. So if you're not able to remember by heart, at least try to keep reciting daily the slokas. We used to recite as like just 5 minutes daily, quickly keep on reading, reciting, you will get the practice portion of it. Okay, Hare Krishna. We'll stop here. Then we'll continue with 13th chapter after the exam, or what is that? I just want to discuss about. Many of you might go for a summer vacation, sorry, the December vacation, or
Yeah, Prabhuji,
When
December.
when
Hare
the
Krishna Prabhuji, I am also traveling. 27, I'm